What's up, y'all? This is episode number 271 of the Homeroom with Smooth podcast, and I got with me Amanda Holley. How are you
What up,
doing?
what up? What up,
You
y'all?
know what I'm saying?
Hey,
R&B
Smooth.
singer. You know what I'm saying? She does, you have a 5 octave range. You play violin, right? Okay, hey, I'll be trying to remember. And then you're a songwriter. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you're credited on different like movies, right? You have
Mm-hmm.
movie credits and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I also play the keys, piano.
And play piano. Nice.
So yeah, I'm a Gemini, and that explains that, I think. The whole violin slash R&B urban music
Mm-hmm.
situation, kind of combining those.
There's, there's a there's a lot of great artists that are Geminis.
Yeah, we're a pretty good sign, I think. There's some more interesting Geminis than others. I'm a good gem. I'm a good gem. I promise.
A good one. You
Mm-hmm.
sure?
Mm-hmm.
Positive?
Yes. And yeah, I did actually have the title track of a movie that was on Showtime for 2 years and is actually getting picked up by other networks now, called Sharon 123, and that was under writer director Mark Brown, who's the creator of the Barbershop series, and that was pretty
Nice.
cool because initially it was gonna just be a few of my records,
Mm-hmm.
and then I guess Holley, they just fell in love. I'm just kidding. And they no, but they asked, could you do a title track? And
Mm-hmm.
that's when I teamed up with my girl Cecily Wagner, who's a really talented writer right here in LA, as well as Davis Chris, who is a really hot up and coming producer,
Mm-hmm.
charting Billboard and stuff. So yeah, and we came up with that record, and it ended up being the title track, and that was pretty crazy. And that was the start of it. And since then, I've had a lot of different films and stuff utilized in the music, and
Mm-hmm.
actually just did a cameo, or like I guess technically it was a speaking role in my first SAG film. Um,
Nice.
Thank you. In the winter before the strike, and then I have some film projects coming up where I'll be singing and acting in the films with some award-winning directors behind those, and for that I'm very thankful.
Oh, that's dope.
It's kind
That's
of
dope.
crazy.
That's dope. That's dope. So, do you find it different, like a different energy you have to tap into to like act versus sing, or is it like all coming from the same
Wow,
place?
that's a solid question, Smooth. Okay.
Hey, I'm pretty good.
So for the acting side, that's always been a part of me as well. I grew up um, around a lot of theater.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and even the way that kind of came out was just like kind of a crazy thing. But ever since I was a little girl, and I always wanted to be able to be a triple threat, not in a way where, oh, I want to do it to be cool or like, work more when I grow up or nothing, but just because I love the work and I respect it so much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just always been a given to me that I would work in all the mediums of performance art to the best of my ability. But I do love both. I mean, singing, music is just who I am, and it's so much a part of me that I couldn't stop it if I tried. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like acting is just like an extension of that, because really, all
Mm.
in all, we're storytelling and we're channeling
Right.
emotions, and we're to be what I've come to learn. I played a lot off and off Broadway as a little girl. Um, what I've come to learn is that in order to really be a great actor, actress, whether it's stage or on camera, we really are not lying, but we're telling the truth.
Mm.
And I could express things sometimes in a scene, just the way I do it through my music, in a more real way than I can, even by having a conversation sometimes, because it's
Right.
hard to be vulnerable in such a crazy world.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very very true. So in song making, right? When did you actually like put out your first record? When was that? Like
Oh
when
my
did you actually
gosh.
go? Okay, here's my first thing. Like I'm talking first as like SoundCloud.
First SoundCloud. That's tough. I don't
Yeah.
know. I had to be like a kid. I think definitely teenager era, and
Mhm.
it wasn't even my decision. Um, it's just one of the people that was giving me studio time and working on me with stuff was like just so kind that like he just loved the song and then just ended up uploading it. And it's just been nonstop ever since, I guess. Although I have hundreds of records, thankfully, with different levels of extremely talented producers that I work with. Some of them are Grammy nominated, some of them are Oscar winning, some of them have all of the above: Emmy, Oscar, Tony, Grammy, and some of them are up and comers and on the way up and just making incredible sonics that are going to affect the world, and I know that. So I have this catalog from ever since childhood, really. And some of the songs that are going to be dropping, say on like a third album, because I haven't even technically released the first album yet. Like, we just been dropping singles, but they're all a part of the same project. It's called the Holley Graphic EP, spelled like my name, Holley.
That's nice. I like that.
Well,
I like that. That's
thank
cute.
you. Okay. Well, it's more, I guess, reflective of my experience, coming from a pretty intense and trauma-ridden experience since birth. I've had to transcend the physical world, and I feel a lot of times like I'm bouncing between dimensions, you know, and like basically riding on the wings of angels, and coming from the streets to then finding myself in these miraculous situations. I feel like in a way I like flipped into another dimension, but we all have that experience in our own way, because everybody goes through strife, everybody goes through something. And I feel like we really are in like a holographic universe. And I think the CIA.gov, if you all look on that, there's actually a document. I don't know if you've seen it, Smooth. You should check it out. I ain't trying to get, I told you I was not going to do controversial stuff because like I don't want to get us killed tonight, but there is a document that actually says that the universe is holographic. It's nuts on CIA.gov.
Hey, don't get me down a rabbit hole, because I'll go look it up. I'll go look it up and be down there for a while. So like
So the stuff that I wrote as a kid, honestly, is the most pure to my innate soul energy and sound, like being like almost like traditional R&B soul. But then I found other aspects of myself and was able to fuse the modern with the core of who I am. And as the albums drop, I'm going to be releasing like records that are like literally, like, one of them was given to me by my auntie. My aunt went to Juilliard, discovered Stephanie Mills, wrote for her, co-managed her, got her in the Wiz.
Wow.
Wrote a song that she divorced the lyrics from that song to write her own R&B musical, which is getting passed down to me. And that song, I've been singing it since I was 8 years old, and we made a version of it. But the tracks were recorded to tape before I was even born.
Oh, wow.
And the crazy thing, Smooth, is like, I didn't even meet my dad until elementary school. And then I didn't know that he was a songwriter. Like, my dad wrote for Sarah Vaughan, but he had like a lot of issues. And I didn't know about that. And I didn't know that his sister went to Juilliard, my auntie.
That's crazy.
And the day I met her, she played me that song, and I cried, and that whole day was just like a blur for us, both of us. But like the minute I walked in the door, I said, "I'm Amanda, I'm a singer," because I found out that she did music, and we went right over to the piano, and she got on the keys, and I sang this song that I wanted her to send to my dad, record it for my dad, so that he would maybe be in my life a little bit. And she starts crying, and then she plays me her song, and I'm like, I'm gonna sing that. And all 3 foot tall, you know, Holley is like, I'm gonna sing that record, you know. And that song ended up leading me to my first co-manager, Phil Ramone, who was a 14-time Grammy nominated producer, because he saw me singing it in my auntie's show. Well, somebody saw me who passed the word to him. It was a long chain of events, but just crazy. Like crazy. And the music is like my testimony to my own personal journey.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have to take my listeners on a ride, I think, because we're gonna start with this first EP, and it's kind of a fusion between where I'm at now and where I was growing up.
Okay. Okay. So artistically, like because I know like Spotify and Apple, they have that new like where it like kind of pops out 3D. You know what I'm saying? And it allows artists to express more through their album cover or whatnot. And I was wondering like, are you going at like that holographic route with that? Are you?
That is
like,
crazy that you said that because I was looking into that. Yeah, I definitely want to take advantage. For now, I've just done the best that I can. You know, sometimes we have songs that take us by surprise, and it's like, oh, we gotta
mm-hmm.
drop this, and it's like, oh, dang, like, where that cover at?
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
let's,
yeah,
you
and
know.
that's fine. I was just trying to throw that bug in your
Yeah, no, I
ear
like
for
that.
the EP. For the EP, I'm like, if you do
Hell
that, that would be
yeah.
super cool.
That's a beautiful idea. I gotta credit
Yeah,
you for that.
yeah, that'd be super cool. That'd be super cool. I don't need the credit. Like
Aw,
it can just exist in this video
he's
that I said
humble,
it.
y'all.
I'm super humble. I'm super humble. Like I love to just give away for free. Like just like because it's not mine. It's not for me. It's for you. It's your story. Like what do I need to be
That's
credited
how I
on
feel
it
about
for?
the music. Like, it's not even mine. It's given to me and through me
Mm.
for you, for whoever's supposed to hear it and feel it the most. You know, it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
So what was your favorite performance at?
Okay, this is such a tough question. You got all the hard questions. Favorite performance. It's really a toss up, Smooth, because they're so different. So like your take,
You
there have
can
been
do top three.
okay.
I'll
Top.
make it a little easier.
Okay,
Top three.
so top three, I would say. Well, the biggest honor I've had thus far in terms of performing
Mm-hmm.
has been definitely playing and singing my own song that I wrote on the Steinway at Carnegie Hall.
That's crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Under musical director Myron McKinley for Earth, Wind, and Fire. I had an
Okay.
event that was produced by Michelle Pascal, who's a spiritual singer who has a book with Deepak Chopra. Like, it was
Yeah.
crazy. It was like my whole life just kind of made sense at that moment. You know, because I wouldn't have even written the song that I performed that night had I not been through what I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
And then just to be the first person in my family on both sides, because my mom's was also a concert cellist, but she also had
Mm.
a lot of massive issues. But she went to Manhattan School of Music. She was a genius, like trained concert cellist, like one of 4 out of 5,000 people to go to her school, full scholarship.
Wow.
So between her and my dad, and then like family on both sides doing music, creating music, nobody had ever played there. And I think that night was also a first time at Carnegie for Myron, even though he was the MD for Earth, Wind, and Fire, and
Mm-hmm.
Stacy Lamont Senior, who was playing the drums, who's toured with the Jacksons. Like, it was
Wow.
his first time. So I was just like,
That's
my head
crazy.
was I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And it
Absolutely
just,
no pressure.
yeah. Oh man, that I can't even explain to you. I disappeared for that. Like, it was just 5 minutes, you know, because it was just one song. But I felt like I was flying. So that was one. I think my second, oh, it's tough. Probably, oh my gosh, Smooth. Playing, okay, so I've toured with Style Fashion Week for 5 seasons and for New York and LA Fashion Week.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done all these amazing venues, but I'd say like one of the coolest was the Pacific Design Center here in West Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my dancers under dance director Whitney Bazant, who is a phenomenal choreographer. She did the Super Bowl with J-Lo.
Okay.
She toured with her. She choreographed for her and toured with her and was actually on the Super Bowl performance with J-Lo.
Okay.
And worked for Taylor Swift and
Mm.
the girls danced at the VMAs and everything. And these girls tore it up. And they had like 3 days notice for the show. I had never
Mm-hmm.
seen the choreo until soundcheck. And they had fit changes that I didn't even know they had, and it was just insane. And there's like thousands of people, 5,000 people outside, like everybody's like just. It was such a high. It was just so surreal. And then I'd have to say, dang, I don't know. This is really tough. Even like the other night, I did one for Breaking Hits, and it was a surprise pop-up. So it was like, oh yeah, just a little surprise pop-up, do a little 20-minute set. Ended up being like 25 minutes. And just the energy in that room, just with all the artists and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've played at Birdland. I've played all over New York. It's difficult. But I'd say that at least Carnegie Hall for me, and maybe Pacific Design, I think. It's Gemini. I told you these little...
Right. Hey, but I got to ask these questions. I got to ask. The people want to know, okay? People want to know more about you. Before I get too deep, so what's the A stand for?
Oh, well, Amanda.
I just had to do it.
I'm just... Amanda Holley. But if you want to go deep, I guess we could say Ascension.
Okay.
Like when I was you want to go really kind of okay. When I was like 2, 3, I said to my mom, because I heard something about ascension somewhere, and I said, oh yeah, it's my time to ascend. I definitely didn't say it correct, but I was like, it's my time to ascend. Mama, can I be an angel? No, honey, like, there's no wings. Like, you can't have wings. What about when I die? Like, I was a weird kid.
If that was my child, I'd be done. I'd be like, who you been talking to? let me first figure out that.
Yeah, I was an interesting kid. I was always, like, just vibing off of what was happening in the world. Wanting to spread music, create music, and I didn't like suffering. That always kind of got me.
Yeah, that's always tough. So with Ride or Die, okay, how was the process of making that record and putting it out and promoting it and finding success with it? How was that?
Okay, so Ride or Die is a crazy one because my producer the first producer who brought the song to me, Corey Laws. Okay, we've been working together since my debut single over at Tommy Boy Warner Brothers. That record was called Fiendin'. And we kind of grew a little bit apart just because like Fiendin' moved so fast and then all these people got involved and like there was so much going on. And then we finally started kind of working together again. I dropped a song called Fave Flavor with Corey. And then he was like, remember that song I played you back when we did Fiendin'? It was called Shotgun, Ride or Die. And I said, yeah. He's like, we really want you to cut that record. I'm like, oh my goodness. I freaked. Because at the time, when he first played it, there were like little like entanglements on the business side with it. And it wasn't the same as it is now because we rewrote it. I got involved. I wrote a bridge. Like then we brought Chico Bennett in as a co-producer who was a Grammy-nominated legend musician, and he also got in on the writing. And we just amplified the original meaning of the song. But he was like, "Well, we got it, and like you should do it. You should do it." I'm like, "Yes!" Like I was just so excited. It was literally Grammy weekend of 23, like this past year. And I was like, I feel like I need to do this record with Chico. So we go in, we cut the record. We went really, really deep with it though. Like Chico didn't want to leave any stone unturned. He produced that vocal. And so Chico Bennett actually produced for Destiny's Child, Taylor Swift. He's Madonna. Like he's phenomenal at what he does. Right. And I'm so thankful that we were able to actually make that happen. So we went in, we cut it, and I just knew there was something like special about it because it was supposed to be mine from the get. That's the crazy part is that song was supposed to be mine, and when I let go of it, it came right back to me.
Mm.
And then I was able to make it even more, who I am, really exciting. And then the record came out, and I wasn't really expecting, because we had other things lined up to drop, and I wasn't expecting the kind of response it got. And the response was like so overwhelming that we just kind of kept it going. We cut the video, full video, and everything. And then finally found out that it was on the Grammy ballot this year. Now, I don't know when this is going to air, but Ride or Die is officially on the ballot for the first round for Best R&B Performance and Best R&B Song. And I'm just so thankful for that, because, like, to be going from being a homeless baby from Newark with nothing and survive the things that I did to then being in Hollywood and being on the ballots and performing at all this, it's amazing. I'm really excited no matter what the outcome this year. And then we're just setting up for next year.
Oh yeah. Definitely. That and holographic. Yep.
Yeah, the holographic EP. These songs are all a part of that, though. And it's kind of like the progression is kind of like going just like the way my life did, going from the streets to like this elevated state of consciousness that I'm always trying to reach, and a lot of times it feels like, bouncing between third dimension and fifth dimension too, because it's like, there's that part of me that like pulls myself through things by staying like as elevated as I can and as connected to the creator and the angels and oneness. And then there's that other part of me that's like, oh, why is everything so dark, and like, why is everything so crazy, and why'd you have to go through all this, and likes to do that whole little like defeatist mentality. And I feel like so many of us struggle with that, especially with the way that the world is now. Yeah,
that's definitely true. And I noticed you mentioned like you started in Newark, New Jersey. I do want to ask you, like, how'd you from there to New York to LA, like how did that transition happen, to get you here?
So crazy. So Newark is where I was born. And my parents, they had their issues. And like I said, I only saw my dad when I was an infant, and then I didn't see him until elementary. And then I moved around a lot as a kid. Sometimes with my mom, sometimes had to stay with other people in the family, thank goodness. And then eventually meet my dad. Then I meet my auntie. And my auntie starts showing me off to all her friends, because I was this little, from the time I was like 3, 4, 5, people asked me to sing, and I'd just be, blowing and stuff. And then eventually, by the time I'm like 8, 9, my voice sounded like I was 20. It was really like weird. I was like this little girl with this big voice and singing around town, and this little school event or that little church thing or whatever. And people started to catch on. And then I meet my auntie, and I'm like, well, I'm already a singer, because I'm singing for the State Theater thing here. I'm, on stage for that. My mom also played in orchestra pits as a concert cellist when things were okay. And she didn't have the money for a babysitter, so she would take me. So from the time I was 3, I would sit in the orchestra pit with her. And, that's why I had my violin. Like, literally, I got my first violin because I went to one rehearsal. I saw everybody with the violin, and I was like, I got to have mine. And I got my first violin at 2.5. And her friend, who was in the orchestra pit, brought me to the Suzuki school where they had all the preschoolers training on the violin. And when I would watch the rehearsals, I would try to mimic all the actors, the singers. I wanted to know everybody's lines, because I'm like, oh, this is my job. Like, that's my job. Like, yeah, I'll play down here, but I'm gonna be up there too. So and from there, kind of like, once this big reveal of like my dad, I actually didn't even know that this is crazy, but I didn't even know that I was Black.
Wow.
Which is a twisted thing. But when I met my father, I knew.
Right.
And then I understood other things, like my hair, my skin. I'm a 3C curl, like that did not come from my mama.
Right.
Well, she has wild hair. She's Italian, so she, she's got a little something, but, and eventually my auntie's like, okay, we got to get her in with these theater people, because I was already doing it.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in the orchestra pits with my mom, like the theater director would be like, oh, let's have her do this program over here. Let's have her do the kids program. Let's have her do this theater production,
Right.
etc. So it's just kind of natural. And then Auntie stepped in, and a lot of people got wind of me, including the Juilliard prep director. Juilliard preparatory program is like for kids, and he integrated me with a lot of Juilliard teachers.
Okay.
So that was just, and then I ended up spending most of the weeks on the Upper West Side with my aunt, because I'd have rehearsals for off and off Broadway shows and stuff. And then eventually, just the music thing. It was all music, and music brought me out to LA. So.
Okay. Okay. So, what city do you prefer, LA or New York?
Ugh. See, this is the type of question that'll get a girl killed. Okay.
I know.
This is a. How do I Gemini myself out of this? So both cities are amazing. I think it's really hard to choose, because they're both mecca centers for the arts in the world.
Right.
And I'll always be East Coast at heart, I think. Lately, it does feel like most of the artistic community is in LA. I know we also got a great community in Atlanta, Miami, Nashville. We were talking about Austin.
Yeah.
You know, we're everywhere. New York still has a thing. You know, I did the summer back east, and that was great. Did a show, did some records, did some events, and that was exciting. But I do find myself spending more time here, especially with the TV and film stuff going on too. I'm not gonna say which one I like more. I love both cities the same.
Okay.
I'm allowed. I'm a Gemini, so I could.
Yeah, you can. One side of you likes, and one side. It's okay.
But it is amazing to me, like, just from my background and all the stuff I like. I'm an abuse survivor, you know, of every form of abuse since I was born. So it's like, to be coming from that to then be in Hollywood is amazing. And then it's also like, okay, things are starting to make sense to me now too, you know.
Okay. And then you have a new record on the way, right?
Yeah, so I got a new record. It's called Press Play. I'm very excited about it. And it drops on the 10th of November. I'm not sure when that'll be, like, with the drop of this particular interview, but it's called Press Play.
So look, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to look y'all in the eye. So look, what you're going to do is you're going to go down to the description of the video. There's going to be a link to said song in the description of the video.
Yeah, you better click that.
You go down to the link, you click the link. But after we finish the video, okay? Don't go too far yet. All right. So, but anyway, but with that being said, what's something that you enjoy about your fans, like?
What do I enjoy? I love, well, about my fans. Okay, I'm very, very thankful for the fan base that has grown for me and around the music. I'm very thankful for that. And it's just exciting to be able to share music, because I think I was telling you before, I feel like the music is not mine to like it comes from somewhere. It comes to me and it comes through me, and then I get to share it with the people that need to hear it the most in the world. And to be able to do what music did for me, for someone else, is like it's the best feeling on earth. It's pretty amazing, and I'm really thankful for that.
Okay, so I did want to say this, like, in meeting you, I noticed like you have a very like warm like energy to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're very inviting, you're very like personable and very cool. So I do want to like appreciate you for that.
Aww.
But then at the same time, like, you seem like awfully like fearless in a way. Like, is there anything like you fear? Like, are you scared of anything? Like,
oh goodness. Well, I have PTSD, OCD, and anxiety disorder.
Okay.
Actually CPTSD, so that's extra fun. And I think it's not about having fear or not having fear, Smooth. It's like whether or not I let my fear run my life.
Bingo.
Okay, but like I will be, listen, like there will be days when, and I'm sure y'all have had these days where I just want to crawl under a rock and just hide from the world and cry my heart out and, oh, I'm done with this or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's always that part of me that's like, okay, Holley, like, let's go. Like, this is what you're here to do. And like, we're going to keep doing it. And when it comes to people and being hurt, betrayed, and in cases that I touched on earlier, abused, etc., like obviously I'm terrified of it ever happening again, but at the same time I've kind of been through like so much darkness that I'm not even afraid anymore, like because I've been pulled out of it so many times on the wings of angels that it's just like, okay, it's almost in a way like when people want to act crazy or do something crazy, it's like, okay, thanks for letting me know that right now. Like, and I don't want to change. And I know it's difficult because, again, we're in a really crazy world.
Right.
And it's filled with a lot of pain and trauma for so many people and children especially, which is just like heartbreaking.
Right.
But it's like, okay, we can't let the circumstances and the darkness of the world change who we are at our core, because then we become a part of that vicious cycle.
Right.
Is the way I feel. And I don't have to change who I am, you know? I let people reveal who they are to me. And then I make a decision. Am I going to allow this in my life or not? But like by being real and being who I am, I actually get to see that even sooner. There's things I'm looking back on and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so horrible what they did. Oh man. But like, wow, you know what? I'm glad I saw it when I did. And I refuse to change. I love people no matter what. I actually love people just as much, if not more, than I love music. I want to work for children in the world. And I want to use my platform to spread love, light, and positivity and empowerment and soul. So I can't do that if I let myself be affected. But it's tempting. It's tempting to close off, you know?
Yeah.
And you got to protect yourself. You got to be smart, you know?
True.
I have my, I got my management. I have my fail safe, like, you know, and I can cut off if a person is coming the wrong direction, like y'all, like don't put up with nothing, like don't put up with like any kind of red flag you see, like that's it, right?
Right.
But when it comes to like meeting people for the first time, I think we should give one another a full opportunity to be vulnerable and be who we are, because how else are we gonna change the world? I don't know. I'm just rambling because I'm a Gemini.
I mean, no, but that's important though, because that's what made me go, okay, like yeah, I do want to like interview you and like make sure like I like keep up with you and like what you're doing, because like I caught that energy from meeting you the very first time, and I was like, okay, she's cool, like I actually like her.
I also don't want to be. I don't want to become one of the stereotypical people. Like I don't want to be that. It's just not who I am. You know, so it's an active decision too. It's like, you know, because we're in Hollywood. You know,
Yeah.
like I do, Smooth. Like you could walk around being, oh yeah, like I'd rather just stay who I am and
Right.
love everybody.
Yeah, I feel that completely. Okay.
Unless you cross me. No.
I mean, hey, don't do it.
Then it's just a cold wall. It's like, see you. I had to learn how to do that too. I had to learn how to say no. I had to learn how to put my foot down. I had to learn my own self-worth, which is a lot of what I talk about in my music, which is for the purpose of inspiring that in other people who are going through it, you know?
Okay. So with that being said, what's Press Play about though?
Ooh. You're the first person asking this question, actually, because I haven't been talking about it. We teased it at the terrestrial radio at 99.3, but we didn't get to talk about it at all. Well, the song, I guess, will already be out when this comes out, so I could tell you. I was actually really sad when I wrote it. I was on my keyboard, just kind of vibing out, crying. I am a crier. I will cry it out. I will sing it out. I will scream it out, and then I'll get up and go back at it. But just wanting to see a world full of love and peace and soul and music and passion. So there are two different aspects to the record. Part of it's talking about more of the whole like letting the music come through me, and then being the vessel for that, and being a channel of love and empowerment and sharing that with my listeners. And then the other part of it is the relationship aspect of being in that love relationship and being able to be that open and stripping down all the layers and not having to turn off a part of myself just because of things that I may have been through, right? And because we don't get any further that way, like letting people who may have hurt us or abused us in a way dictate how we are with our relationships moving forward, because then they are always a part of our lives.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's crazy, right? And then there's the aspect of like music and celebrating music and what it is to make music, create music, and share music. So the lyrics are kind of fun with that. There's like multiple meanings.
Okay.
But it's actually just like an R&B pop up-tempo. So you can miss all of that and just dance and drink and, party, whatever. Yeah.
I think the best songs though are that way, where once you actually get to listen to the words, you're like, wait, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of people on, you know what I'm saying, on first listen, yes, you're listening to the words, but when you're hearing it outside, you know what I'm saying, you might not necessarily be listening, and then when you finally catch on, that's when it starts to like actually like hit home.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what is...
I won't recite all the lyrics here though, because y'all need to go press play.
Yeah, just go press play.
So I can share that with y'all.
Yeah, press play. Okay. So listen, also, is there anything you want to like, last messages you want to leave the people with,
Wow. A last message for this Homeroom with Smooth to leave y'all with, as a Gemini, who could have a million last messages, would probably just be to surrender to your purpose if you can. Know that the vision that the Creator put inside of you, put it there because it's what you're meant to be and do in the world and share. Even if the odds are stacked against you. And I know there's so many people who've had it like I did, or maybe not as bad, or maybe so much worse, right?
Right.
But the pain feels the same to each of us. Like no matter what it is that we're going through, that's as much as we're capable of handling. We're put through those trials and tribulations to the fullest extent of what we're here to learn, right?
Right.
But holding true to that divine purpose, and just believing in your passion and staying true to who you are, even when the world tries to change you, tries to change me.
Awesome.
And don't forget to check me out. I'm at Listen to Amanda on IG. Of course, my management is going to be like, make sure you plug that IG. So I'm at Listen to Amanda on IG. I'm trying to get more active on TikTok, y'all. But you got to understand, like, I'm like Phantom of the Opera when I get in the creative process. And I'm not the best with the social stuff just yet, but I'm getting there.
I can give you...
It's more fun with you, like with you, Smooth, but like with the fans, followers, people that I get to share with, because when I see that they're getting something from my experience, it kind of like is a motivating factor. So and they're all so cute and like beautiful. So y'all are so cute and beautiful and amazing and talented. Lots of talented fans. So I'm very thankful.
All right. Well, guys and gals, this has been episode number 271 of the Homeroom Smooth podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, Smooth.
Thank you so much. All right. See y'all later.
Bye. Love you.